Swordquest originated from Atari's previous game Adventure. Adventure is well known as possibly the first game to feature an Easter egg, a secret hidden within the game. Under the Swordquest name, there was going to be 4 titles released: EarthWorld, FireWorld, WaterWorld, and AirWorld. The games were all released one at a time. In each game box came the game, of course, a poster, and a comic book that was based on that game. The comic book was very important to the contest. You were to use the comic book to find clues throughout the game and send them to Atari by mail. Those who found all of the proper clues were invited to Atari headquarters to compete in the finals. In the finals, players would play a specially programmed version of that game with only an hour and a half to finish. Whoever finished first would be awarded a treasure. Each of the treasures were valued at $25,000. The winner of EarthWorld received a talisman, an 18-karat solid gold disc studded with diamonds in the birthstones of the 12 zodiac signs, along with a miniature white gold sword to sit up top. If you won the second game's competition, FireWorld, you got the Chalice of Light, a goblet made of platinum and gold, studded with diamonds, rubies, sapphires, pearls, and green jade. For finishing first place in WaterWorld, you would win the Crown of Life, a solid gold crown decorated with diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and aquamarines. And finally, if you won AirWorld, you would receive the Philosopher's Stone, a large piece of white jade in an 18-karat gold box encrusted with emeralds, rubies, and diamonds. These weren't ordinary prizes. These weren't t-shirts or keychains. These were prizes for a king. The plan was for all 4 winners of each game to come back and compete one last time, where the overall winner gets a jewel-encrusted sword with an 18-karat gold handle and a silver blade covered in diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, and rubies. That sword was valued at $50,000. This was a legit treasure hunt. You hunt for the clues and you possibly leave with actual treasure. So here we are many decades later. The competition is well over. When you played these games, numbers would flash on the screen. Let's just say, for example, the numbers 9 and 6 would flash the screen. What you would do is you would take that comic book, go to page 9, panel 6, and search for the hidden clue. The clue was a word. Writing down all these words that you found and sending them to Atari would hopefully get you into the finals. It wasn't exactly easy. Inside the first comic on the first page was a poem with the words prime and number colored different to stand out. This was to let you know that the correct clues were prime numbers. For EarthWorld, about 5,000 gamers entered and only 8 got the proper clues. The winner of this first title, Stephen Bell, took home the talisman. The second game, FireWorld, more than 50 gamers found the proper clues. However, it was Michael Rideout who was the one that took home the Chalice of Light. Things started to get a little rocky by the time the third game, WaterWorld, released. Atari was hurting financially due to the video game crash of 1983. WaterWorld was released, but in limited quantity. Unfortunately, that contest never took place. Home console and computer divisions of the original Atari were sold off, and the fourth title, AirWorld, went unreleased. That is until 2022 when Atari released AirWorld in the Atari 50 collection.
40 years have gone by, and now we get to finally make Swordquest a complete experience for the fans.
40 years this game sat unfinished, but now it has surfaced and anybody can play it. How awesome is that? So the mystery. Whatever happened to those remaining treasures? Whatever happened to the crown, or the Philosopher's Stone, the grand prize sword? Some could guess that maybe they weren't made ahead of the competitions. That's not true. There's proof that they did indeed exist. They were on display during the first two competitions. Jack Tramiel was the guy who purchased Atari during that time, and many rumors have circulated that he had the sword hanging in his office. Some have claimed to have seen it, but he passed away in 2012, and if he had the sword, then he most likely had the remaining treasures. But where are they now? That is the big treasure hunt. The belief is that Stephen Bell, the winner of the talisman, took it to a coin dealer and had it melted down for cash. He apparently kept the little sword from it. If the talisman was melted down, I truly believe that to be a shame. Michael Rideout, the winner of FireWorld and the Chalice, appeared in the Atari Age forums in 2006. He stated that he still had the Chalice in a safety deposit box at a bank. He said that if he ever decided to sell it, he promised it to a man by the name of John Hardy. He shared this picture that John took with it. He was last active on the forums in August 2023. I haven't found anywhere that he has parted with it. There's an article on Eurogamer.net. It says, Swordquest's greatest mystery now lies in the whereabouts of its remaining treasures. The Crown of Life, Philosopher's Stone, and the Sword of Ultimate Sorcery. There are 3 theories. The first suggests that they were all melted down after the competition was cancelled. The second, Atari CEO, Jack Tramiel, kept them for himself, and finally, some believe that they still exist somewhere, perhaps gathering dust in a bank vault or displayed in a very private collection. And says that sadly the first theory is also the most likely. As for the rather more salacious idea that the new boss took the treasures for his own, there's nothing to support the theory behind a rumor among Atari staff that Tramiel had the sword displayed in his office. But as long as there's a shadow of a doubt, the search for answers continue. The reason I love this story so much is because Atari took graphics that needed so much imagination, and they gave you an adventure. A game to explore with real-life treasures that weren't just hidden inside an 8-bit video game. You could actually take these home. And as for the unclaimed treasures, maybe one day someone will stumble across them. But as for now, their whereabouts remain unknown.